All right, I've got to get your thoughts on the China-Australia trade war, is what I will call it, because that's what we're starting to see. I'll start off by showing you a clip of the Foreign Minister Marise Payne earlier today speaking with Kieran Gilbert.
There should be an appropriate independent investigation. We don't think that's a remarkable proposition, and we think that is a reasonable statement for Australia to have made. What is important is that we are able to work together as an international community towards an outcome on that investigation.
Now, Anthony Albanese, you support the government's call for an independent investigation into the origins of this pandemic. Surely it is China that is overreacting here by targeting Australia in response.
Well, it's good that Marise Payne is out there making comments. I think part of the problem with this debate has been leaving it to George Christensen on a visit by the member for Dawson to Australia to comment on these matters. The Foreign Minister should be commenting. I support the Foreign Minister's comments. This should not be a partisan issue, nor should it be an issue which is controversial. Look, when someone dies due to unknown circumstances, there's a coronial inquest, an individual. What we're talking about here, I think the figure that you used in your introduction to the show, Chris, was 300,000 deaths.
That's right.
Surely that demands an open, transparent inquiry, not as having a go at anyone or any nation or any political viewpoint, just as a matter of making sure that this doesn't happen again.
Absolutely.
This shouldn't be an academic exercise.
In terms of the fallout here, though,
be controversial.
No, I agree with you on that. But in terms of the fallout, I want to show you what the Labor Premier of Queensland, Anastasia Palaszczuk, said today. She said that Queensland desperately relies on a lot of trade with China. Look, I don't think we've got that grab for you, but what she says is she wants this trade war settled as quickly as possible, and she's going to write to the federal government to urge them to solve it. Isn't this arguing the wrong end of the stick? Isn't her beef with China? Shouldn't she be writing to the Chinese ambassador, not implying that Australia's done something wrong?
No, well, I don't think that implication's there at all. I'm sure that what she's saying is she's not alone here, that the Australian government needs to use every diplomatic use of the Department of Foreign Affairs has some brilliant people in it. We need to be using them to advocate, to lay the groundwork, to make sure that we get the support there for an inquiry. But at the same time, we can be. That's why this shouldn't be seen as an attack on any country. Our economic relationships in our region are vital, and jobs in Southeast Queensland in particular, at two of the main abattoirs are based there around the Ipswich region,
yep,
and they're important.
Right.
And, yeah, they're doing it tough, these people, and the Queensland Premier, standing up for Queensland jobs, as she does, deserves credit for that. The Australian government does need to engage with all the nations in our region, but it needs to engage as well, never compromising on what is Australia's national interest. Australia's national interest has been, I have no disagreement whatsoever with the statement that Marise Payne.
Okay. Well, we are over time. Sorry to cut you off, Anthony Albanese. We are over time. You just want to wish.
You're right, Chris. Good to chat, mate.
You don't want to wish the Prime Minister a happy birthday quickly before we go?
I didn't know it was his birthday, but if that's news to me, if I'd have known, I would have wished him personally during question time. But okay. It was Bill Shorten's birthday yesterday and Scott Morrison's today.